Hey gang, okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of low back release. It's also gonna help with hip release, hamstring, calf, arch. It's basically like some foot foundation work. I want to introduce you to my ball sack. Yes, I said ball sack, get your mind out of the gutter. In this, I actually have 3 size balls. We have a small spiky ball, we have essentially a gum ball, and then a super pinky ball. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple moves that we're going to do with them to help with any sort of low back, hip, arch, calf release. When I say super pinky ball, I mean literally it's called super pinky ball. It's bouncier, it's not a lacrosse ball, it is not a tennis ball. It is stronger than a tennis ball, it is softer than a lacrosse ball, you need the bounce. So if you're like, oh, I'm going to go get me a lacrosse ball, it's not going to work. So from here, we're going to start by taking the ball and you're going to put it underneath the ball of your foot. For most people, you are going to have to hold onto a wall, kind of like I just lost my balance. You're going to have to hold onto a wall because it's really hard and awkward to do, especially if you have tight calves. So see how it's underneath the ball of my foot, not on my toes, not on my arch, so my toes can actually curl over the ball. So you release and squeeze. Nothing else is moving on my body except for my toes, up and down. Now I do have super tight calves, so right now I feel an insane stretch all the way up to the back of my knee. So we're just going to do 10 of those. Seems kind of silly, I know, but it actually works. Sometimes you feel something, you may not. Everyone's different. Sometimes you just feel it in your toes, sometimes you feel it in your arch. Okay, so from here, you're gonna take the ball back, and you're gonna put it under your heel. Now this one's done wrong like 95% of the time. It is behind my heel, it is not in my arch, okay? From here, your foot that it's under, so in this case the right foot, has to stay perfectly straight. And the left leg also has to stay perfectly straight and not bent. You are not moving anything except for this hip. So the best way that I can tell you to do it is to push down into the ball and then lift up. So you push down and lift up. My knee is not bending. My body is not shifting from the upper body. You're literally just moving the hip. If you are doing this correctly, you're gonna feel a stretch in either your low back or even on the side of your hip. We're gonna do 10 of them. I see crazy shit sometimes when I'm teaching people this, so make sure, again, you're not bending, you're not doing this with your body, that's not gonna work. So you gotta really use that hip. If you have super tight hips, you can try to put a little pressure and then try to lift up, but only do it a couple times so you're not compensating with your low back. Awesome. So go ahead and switch. Start with that calf stretch first. Underneath the ball of your foot. Toes are allowed to go over. We're going to squeeze it for 10. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it to the heel. Again, your heel has to stay straight. Standing legs perfectly straight, doesn't move. This one doesn't bend. Push down into the ball and lift from the hip. So you see my hips are moving, or my hip is moving rather, but the upper body is not doing crazy shit. Just lift and drop. So my right side, I have a lot of issues. I can feel that all the way in my low back, my SI joint, into my glute. This side, I don't really feel much, but that's okay because we want to even out both sides. So maybe that's number 10. All right, so that ball's off to the side. Now, you want to grab a seat. You do not want to do the rest standing, you want to grab a seat. Make sure you can touch the floor, otherwise that is also pointless. Small ball is going to go underneath the ball of your foot. Now notice a lot of people don't know what the ball of their foot is. The ball of the foot is the bridge of the foot. It's not your toes, it's not your arch. It's right across the bridge as if it were the palm of your hand up here, okay? So take the ball, put it underneath the ball of your foot. Curl your toes down. Keep your heel down, and then from here, you're gonna move your foot side to side. Now, if you're super tight, I see people doing this with their knee. That's not what you're doing. You're just moving your foot. So if you think of your foot like a windshield wiper, right? You're gonna take it side to side. Now, if your feet are super tight, you're probably saying WTF right now because you're gonna have this fascia buildup in the base of the foot, the ball of your foot. It's gonna be a bunch of knots. When the knots are really bad, it almost sounds like chunks, like you're hitting on the ground, and it's awful. And it feels terrible, but it's just like a massage. Just like when we have knots in our body, we have knots in our feet. Our feet are our foundation. So when our feet are fucked, pardon my language, the rest of your body tends to be too. So we're taking it forward and back. Now, if you feel a big knot in that big toe, that means that you have probably more back tightness on that side. And if you feel it on the outside, probably means you have more tightness in the hip. So what you want to do is you want to take pressure, and now you can lift the heel, and you're going to go up and down those knots about 10 times. Big toe, not so bad for me. I'm going to walk it through to the other side. Pinky, huge knot, feels awful. We're going to go 10 times. See how my foot can't even stay straight? That's how bad the knot is on that foot. Again, you do not want to do this standing up. A lot of times I've given clients these. They take them home, they do it standing up, and they're like, oh my God, I hurt my back. It's because you didn't listen. Stay down. That's it. Simple as that. Do not work in your arch. Do not work like in the back of the foot into the heel. Just stay on the ball of the foot, just like I told you. Windshield wiper, up and down, only the ball of the foot. We're going to switch sides. Again, leg is straight, goes under the ball, foot turns into a windshield wiper. Take those toes down so you can put the pressure in to break up the fascia in between the toes. So that's going to be about 10. From here, lifting that heel up. You're going to move forward and back. Find that knot. Find that area that doesn't feel super. Roll it out 10 times. Work your way through your foot. Roll it out 10 times. From here, you now have the nice one, the soft spiky ball. You're going to put it underneath your foot, and you're going to roll out the whole thing. So basically, imagine like back in the day when people like do the chop, chop, chop on your back when it's all done to kind of break everything up. That's kind of what we're doing here. Don't kill yourself. Don't overwork your arches. Just kind of roll everything out like a nice little massage. Now, the reason I did not have you work your arches today is very specific. When you actually release all the fascia in the ball of the feet and then the toes, you can actually release the tightness in your arch. If you are rolling out your arch because someone told you to with a golf ball or a lacrosse ball and you have a flat foot, you can cause permanent damage to your foot, your calf, and your back. Totally not worth it. So just roll everything out. Don't spend too much time on that arch, even though you know you want to. And just do about 10 times. When you're done with that, stand it up and walk around. And most commonly, what I hear from people when they're walking around is that they actually feel like they're really stepping now, that they can really feel their feet taking the steps. My favorite description is I feel lighter. So it should actually feel like your foot is landing in a tripod and you're actually hitting all the points so you can properly fix your gait as you walk so you're not compensating your hips or your low back. If you have any questions or if you want me to send you a ball sack, just let me know. You can hit me up at thebodybycor@gmail.com. That's thebodybycor@gmail.com. Thanks so much.